Molly Hartfield lives to put people's lives in order.
My whole life made sense the second that I started this business.
She's the founder of Hart & Co., a professional organizing service that started as a nanny agency.
It came naturally to me. I feel like as I would take care of kids, I realized how you needed to have things in your home organized for their lives and schedules to stay organized.
In 2019, demand from clients compelled a pivot from kids to clutter.
I did not know I needed Molly until I came across a mutual friend that had used her services, and then I was like, I absolutely need that.
Megan Murphy hired Hart & Co. 3 years ago when she was pregnant and needed help getting her Dorchester condo ready for baby.
Just watching them find a place for everything that I never would have even thought of, and just adding systems to make everything feel like it made sense.
3 years and 2 kids later, she called on Molly and her team again to help with her family's move to their house in Marshfield.
I feel like I can just function day to day, like packing bags for school, or since they left, I've made a smoothie every single day because we have this whole system set up. It's crazy the difference that it makes.
Megan's not the only one outsourcing this service. Home organization has become a multi-billion-dollar business. A once foreign concept that's become a part of pop culture in the past decade or so, permeating retail, TV, and social media.
It kind of inspired people to be like, all right, I don't have to live in this clutter anymore, and I don't have to do it myself. I can reach out to someone to help.
Experts in efficiency, Molly and her team tackle each project with a proven process. Step 1, remove everything from the space.
That's where people struggle. They'll be like, well, that part's fine, I'll leave that there, and they can't unsee it. So it always ends up being the same problem.
Step 2, sort, categorize, and most importantly, purge.
They're both a little too big for those now. Everything must go.
Step 3, create a system that's simple and easy to maintain.
So I like to say the aesthetic helps in keeping it organized. Something looked so perfect in each contained bin, they're likely to be like, I'm gonna put my hat directly into that labeled hat bin.
Motivation to maintain a new order and preserve peace of mind.
We're doing this all year, so for us, the fact that everyone gets excited now, I'm like, I've been waiting for this spring, so you guys wanted us to come back. It is a great time to just like start fresh.
As we mentioned earlier, one of, if not the most important steps in organizing is to remove the things that no longer serve a purpose. But parting with those items can be the hardest part.
32 years, so a lot of memories went into that truck.
Deborah McElhenney is moving out of the Walpole apartment she's called home for 3 decades.
Moving is very emotional. I mean, it's stressful.
To help Deborah downsize and find new purpose for the items she wasn't taking with her, a friend recommended Junk Teens.
When I read their website, it isn't junk. I mean, it can be repurposed, reused. That really spoke to me.
More people will feel comfortable hiring our service if they know that their stuff isn't just all going into the trash.
We're young guys and we're trying to make an impact.
Kirk McKinney and his brother Jacob are the company's co-founders.
We think it's important to really try to save as much as we can.
When you actually sort through all of the materials on our end, it's more cost effective. Instead of us having to pay to dump everything, we can put in the extra time and recycle the metal, and then furniture, we can sell some of that.
Just 21 and 19 years old, the McKinney brothers started the business 4 years ago after Kirk discovered a mint-condition speaker in the trash when biking by the dump.
When I first saw that, I realized, like, wait, people throw away like really good stuff.
He kept going back to salvage more items until his parents finally put a stop to it.
And that's like kind of when I accidentally became an entrepreneur. I had to take these valuable things that I collected and figure out what to do with them.
Kirk sold them on Facebook Marketplace and was hooked. He and Jacob went on a couple jobs with the workers from the dump, and when they'd saved enough money, bought their own truck.
We want to work, and I know that might sound crazy. A lot of people want to go hang out with their friends on the weekend, but we like actually enjoyed moving stuff out of the house.
Now they're both students at Babson College, getting an education and running their burgeoning business, on the verge of outgrowing their name.
We're actually going through a rebrand pretty soon. We're gonna change it to Junk Adults. No, I'm just kidding.
If you are hiring us, you're supporting not only us, but also the young guys that are in high school that show up to your house to remove this stuff.
We're so thankful that we have this opportunity for ourselves, and I want to be able to provide those same stepping stones for other young kids.
Junk Teens!
Very impressive. And Junk Teens works with a lot of donation partners on a regular basis, including Computers for People.
Computer for People, a nonprofit started by one of their friends from college who takes the old computers, refurbishes them, cleans them up, and then gives them to people as a donation for those who need them. The ones that can't be fixed end up in a rage room they've opened so people can go and do exactly that and get their frustrations out.